alone. See me eye to eye.
Hey everybody! Welcome to another MoGraph podcast. I'm your host, Matt Milstead. Joining me this week is our dear friend. I have him on at least every month or month and a half, Mr. EJ Hassenfratz.
Good enough for finger guns.
Yeah.
Gonna have a good time.
Dude, your lighting looks so good right now. I gotta say, your
Dude, I got
skin tones are looking so nice.
My skin popping.
Right? Looking
Got the nice creams.
Yeah. And it's like the yellow shirt along with, oh, dude, you look good. You look good. Meanwhile, me, I went to go get a haircut today and my hair is like all insane and like, yeah, it just looks bad.
You have hair.
It looks bad. So, but
I'd rather have bad hair than no hair.
Yeah. Sorry. Wah, 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 wah. And on that note, I want to give a big shout out to our sponsor, Otoy.
Who's going to sponsor my hair plugs?
You know them, you love them. They're the makers of Octane Render and the Render Network. With Octane, you can create super photorealistic renders incredibly fast. And for those renders that need a little extra push of power, the Render Network has you covered. Render Network allows you to render your Octane Redshift and Blender Cycles frames in a fraction of the time and the fraction of the cost of other cloud rendering services. And I have heard, I don't know if this is true, but I have heard, through live streams and stuff that they're like in beta to be able to submit blend files like directly using Blender files instead of having to go like Blender Octane ones as well, which is gonna be really cool. I'm super excited about that. But yeah, give them a shout out, tell them thanks for sponsoring the show and sponsoring all things MoGraph. And if you want to give them a try, you can go to otoy.com to try Octane Render or try rendernetwork.com.
Is it the Octane Studio? That's the like comfy.
It
UI?
is. So there's two.
Did we talk about that?
I don't know if we have. Like I've talked about it a lot on the live stream. On like
I was watching
you
talk about it on the live stream.
Yeah. And it's really cool. I really like it. So
you've messed with it.
I have a whole lot. Yeah. So beta.otoy.ai and then canvas.otoy.ai. I really like Canvas. Canvas is fun because, I've been in Houdini world for the past, 6 months or so, and it's all node based. So it's super easy to like grab things from here and grab things from there and reference other things and stuff like that. Really, really cool. If you're used to like comfy UI, it's a lot of the same stuff, only way easier. Like, for example, I was playing around with comfy UI today, trying to because my brain works with nodes, but comfy UI is like, it's like, here, I don't know if you've ever done this, but if you've ever downloaded Houdini and like you throw down a node or something like that, and then you accidentally double click on the node and then it shoots you into a whole nother node network, that's how I feel comfy UI is. Like you need to know all the nodes instead of like having just one node, unless it's like Nano Banana Pro is like 2 nodes. You get that one, you've got the prompt all built in, but like using like 2.2 or whatever to do first frame, last frame, it's like you have to have like 20 nodes hooked up to it, and if you don't, then it's just not gonna run. It's really stupid. But I like
a little too programmy.
Yeah, a little too programmy. Plus the canvas stuff that Otoy's doing, like it's great because it's like, okay, I want this node, I want this node, I want this node. It's not like you're having to do multiple things. I don't know if have you messed with Weavy? It's that is what's the name that what's the company that does all the design layout stuff? God, I'm so like my brain has been fried lately. Weavy.ai. I've
heard good things.
I've heard good things about that thing and stuff.
Oh, because Weavy you can do Rodin and like generate 3D models
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
stuff.
Weavy, you can
Yeah,
do all that
yeah,
stuff.
yeah, yeah.
Figma. Sorry, I'm
Yep.
dumb.
Figma,
Yeah, Figma.
yes.
So Figma bought out
Oh,
Weavy.
Weavy's part.
Yeah,
That's right.
yeah, yeah. They got bought a
That's
while
right. Forgot
ago.
about that.
Hey, what's up,
Yep.
Wayne Bush? I thought you would rather watch some other
I thought you
live
were watching
stream.
Kid Rock.
um, but Weavy, I really the times that I've played around with Weavy, I really like it because it's also node based and it allows you to bring
Yeah.
in your own models, like external models from like the different model places and stuff like that. You know, it's very
Yeah.
interesting. It's very interesting.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, super cool.
yeah, you should give it a try. It's pretty neat. I've done a bunch of concepting in it and stuff like that, and it's really fun to play around with. I wish and I've mentioned this to them. The beta.otoy.ai and the canvas.otoy.ai are kind of right now two separate things, and I told them, I was like, what would be great is because the beta.otoy.ai has so many more models in it. You know, it's got a ton of models versus the Canvas one. The Canvas one doesn't have those. It would be great if it did, or you could reference them or bring them in or something like that. But like being able to easily make stuff in the beta one and then bring it in, you know? So
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm interested in I don't know if you saw, I think they did it with the Adobe Max Sneaks. It was like they have Adobe Firefly boards, which is pretty cool and fun to
Mm-hmm.
play with, but it's not nodes. It's kind of like let's generate stuff and let's put it on this like Milanote thing.
Yeah.
And so you can kind of like group things together and select multiple images on your little mind mappy kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was pretty cool. But they have like a new version that's coming out that's node based that has access to all the different AI models and like say you want to put like Photoshop mosaic
Mm-hmm.
on one thing, like let's pixelate this kind of thing, and you could do that. And so you
Yeah.
can get whatever effect you want and plug in those nodes. And so it looked really interesting. And I'm like that's why I think it's like that's why I'm excited about the Otoy thing or the Octane Studio, Otoy Studio.
It's
Otoy
yeah.
Studio, because there's already Octane Studio, the renderer.
Yeah.
Yeah. I always get confused.
Yeah.
But like that stuff that plugs into the tools we already use, where
Yeah.
it's like just the versus like it's totally different thing, and might be very unfamiliar with it,
Yeah.
and so I'm excited about all that kind of stuff, kind of integrating into the stuff that we already use, because it's like, oh, I could just get my After Effects render or whatever in there, and then
Yeah.
apply a filter or whatever, and yeah, it's
Yeah.
all
Yeah, it would
do a
be
runway thing.
I mean, I will say I understand now why there's so many of these online things, you know, and why they're relatively successful is because I was running Comfy UI locally on like just like a Quadro 8000, which has like a 360 octane bench, and to do one video first frame last frame at like 800 pixels by 400 pixels, it took 23 minutes.
Yeah, that's why you
Yeah.
see these things come out, and the influencers, they have one video.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah,
they
yeah.
got one
Now,
example because it's
I
like,
will
well, I
say,
blew through my free credits, and
yeah, it's because, well, it's also because I was using WAN 2.2, which is run locally. So if you're running them locally, now if you're using like Nano Banana in Comfy UI, it's actually it's so much faster to use it in Comfy UI than it is to use in
it's
one of
local,
these third
right?
party sites or whatever, you know, because it's running it to like Google's stuff, you know, but you have to pay for
Yeah.
those, you know, and it's like 13 cents a generation. Like it feels like gambling because like you're literally spending real money. Like here's a slot machine, 13 cents. Give me
The
something I
penny
can
slots,
use.
but you're still,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Give me something I can use. Here
But
we
you
go.
get
Hit the-
excited on the penny slots,
Yeah.
and it's like, oh, I'm doing 50 cents at a time.
Right.
Oh crap!
Right.
And then you're basically like, this is pointless. Like
Right.
I still blew through $20 in 2 minutes.
Yep. Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's a little rough. It's a little rough. But you know, the stuff you were talking about with Adobe, I haven't seen it, but it sounds a lot like Higgsfield. I think there's a Higgsfield canvas or something like that, where it allows you. It's like what is the next shot, you know, and then it gives you a whole like thing of like, oh, this would be like a really cool next shot or something like that. It also lets you control like camera lens and stuff like that, which is kind of neat, kind of
Yeah.
gimmicky, but
Well, that's the
whatever.
thing where it's like, yeah, where things are less abstract about like, oh, did I get the prompt right versus like, yeah, like in whatever, like I can choose what camera lens I want.
Yeah.
And like I see a lot of people like where some stuff's really cool. Like I see like Aaron Rabinowitz and a lot of people out there that are like Matt Workman, they're
Mm-hmm.
doing like just basic gray scenes in Unreal Engine or
Yeah, yeah,
whatever.
yeah,
And
yeah.
they're like, I got my camera move, I
Mm-hmm.
got my basic character, and I got all the moves, and you're basically using AI as this renderer
That,
on
yes.
top. That it's like that's the control. Like that's where it's like, okay, I don't have to guess about like I can get the exact framing I want. I can get the
Yeah.
exact camera move, the exact keyframed
Mm-hmm.
ease, like that's where I think the sweet spot's gonna be for a lot of this stuff because a lot of it's just like, yeah, Jesus, take the
Yeah.
wheel, like and you're just whatever, like okay,
Yeah.
that's good enough.
Yeah.
And no, it's funny because I feel like we saw like I don't know if how much you saw like all these Super Bowl ads, and everyone talks about it's good enough, or even the
Yeah.
Olympics. There was that AI thing in
Yeah.
the
And it was
Olympics
so
intro, and it's
obvious
like
first frame, last frame. It's like, come on. Like,
yeah, because like it went right to the face
yeah.
at the like perfectly framed up at the end. It looked really awkward. But then someone picked apart like the Olympics. Like if you're just a traditional, like if you're McDonald's
Yeah.
and you're making an Olympics ad, there's a very strict, as with any brand, like brand guidelines and
Mm-hmm.
very like legal stuff where it's like you have to get the logo brand colors exactly right,
Yeah.
da da da. And in the Olympics opening ceremony thing, they had the Olympic rings, and the rings of like the thicknesses were all off, and the colors weren't even right, and it was
Mm-hmm.
just like that's pretty rich that the Olympics are so strict about every other brand using it, but in their own opening ceremonies,
Yeah.
they're like, it was good enough because it was
Yeah.
AI, and they saved a crap ton of money. But like you're
You'd be
seeing that now.
surprised, man. Like, I don't think companies are saving a lot of money. You know, I think what it's going to be the same thing as when everyone got a phone, you know, that has a camera on it. You know, people used to say all the time, "Oh, can I just shoot this on my phone?" And it's like, you can, but it's going to look like
Yeah,
garbage. You know, unless you
yeah,
know what you're doing and have the expertise to be able to say this, this, and this, you know, I don't think it's going to go anywhere. So, but it was interesting seeing all the AI stuff. You know, it's like everyone touting up AI on the Super Bowl ads and stuff like that, and it's like, wait, didn't you guys do this like a couple years ago with like NFTs and crypto and stuff like that? Is this just the
right.
next bubble burst that's gonna happen in a year? You know, I will say this
Yeah,
one
it
has
was.
lasted a bit longer than NFTs did. You know, so
Well, AI is not going anywhere. I
I
think
don't
it's
think
just
so
the
either.
fact
No.
that I hear a lot of people talk about how it's like it's so subsidized right now, like the cost
Yes.
of everything.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's this chicken and the egg situation where it's like, okay, what by the time this is like all these companies run out of
Uh
money,
huh.
is the unsubsidized price going to be affordable because
Yeah.
it's using less energy or
Mm-hmm.
it's more efficient? Like it's just like we see every year, like it's
Yeah.
just crazier. Like just today, the one is it Tencent in China? They just came out
Yeah.
with I forget what the hell the name of it, but it was just today, and it's like, oh my God, like it's just all this crazy stuff.
Yeah.
And there was one that was like did this like Microsoft 3D motion graphics thing too,
I
and it's
did see
like
that. That was interesting. You know.
yeah, and it's like okay, like but also Higgsfield is getting in a lot of crap. Like they're actually their account got banned from X for
Really?
at least for now.
Oh, is
Yeah, I
that
don't know
because of the
why, but
motion design thing that they post? Did you see what they posted?
no,
Oh
I
man,
just noticed no.
it was
But like people were calling them out. I'm like, these are templates, and you're saying it's AI, and it's
yeah.
not. Like you're using Envato 3D template, so it's like false advertising
Huh.
for their own marketing
Oh,
thing, I
okay.
think. but they were claiming that it was like they kind of insinuated that like,
It
oh, we
was
did this
AI.
using Higgs field as like their model, and
Interesting.
it's like, nope, that's a preset
Yeah.
3D thing.
Yeah, I
So
see Higgs field I think is one of the worst offenders as far as like, let's offer up as many things as possible because it at when I joined Higgs field sometime last year, it they offered up free nano banana credits, like unlimited nano banana. And it's like, all right, I'm still using those free nano banana credits, but like I was doing some stuff using one of the other like it was like Kling 2.5 or something where I could do start frame end frame, and I used up all my credits in like half a day. And it's like, okay, well now I have to
mhm.
wait a month or pay you more money, you know? And
That's how
it's
they get you.
it is the I think it's right now the uh like the workout like uh what's the model, like the gym membership model,
Oh, like
where
like $1 for the first month.
well, or no, like they try and get all these people in, in hopes and dreams,
Oh, oh,
and
oh,
people forget to
yeah,
cancel their account. And so, like, the people who are heavy users are being subsidized by the people who aren't using it at all, and they're hoping to make a profit off of it. You know,
yeah.
it's interesting. It's really interesting. And then you've got like I've always thought that Adobe did it correctly and a little bit more ethically than some of the other places, but have you used Nano Banana inside of Photoshop? It gives you a much
Yeah, and you
worse like image than if you're using Nano Banana like on Comfy UI
stand
or something
alone.
like that. Yeah.
Oh, interesting. So
Yeah.
when you're using like the lasso tool and selections and stuff, it doesn't do as good of a job as
Yeah.
okay.
It's real weird. Like,
Huh.
I like being able to like paint stuff or whatever, and then
Yeah.
take it into Higgs field with Nano Banana and say, all right, all the parts that are red, change that. You know, do it
Hmm.
like this, like Photoshop does, but it does it better than Photoshop. You know, it's really interesting.
Interesting that it's using the same
Yeah,
model, like Nano Banana
I mean
model, like the same
it's
version,
supposed
or
to be. Yeah, it's supposed to be, but because
it's
I think it's because it's Adobe, and Adobe's offering it up as part of your membership, you know, like they
it's a
do like
dumbed down
yeah, like a
version,
dumbed
or
down version, like C4D Lite, it's just a dumbed down version of C4D, you know?
yeah, that's interesting because they, in I think it was in Adobe Firefly boards. They were saying how you can use the latest version of Runway
Uh-huh.
video, and like you could use it until like I think it was till the end of the year, maybe it's till
Yeah.
February or whatever it was, but you had like a good free because they were advertising the crap out of it because they just did this big partnership with Runway where they're going to be like one of their main AI model partners.
Mm-hmm.
And
That's interesting
um
because
and so that's the thing where
yeah, go ahead.
yeah. Well, that's the thing where it's like if like I would feel like because that's in the Adobe boards thing that it's not filtered through anything and it's the latest version. That's why I wonder if it's with the Nano Banana thing, if it's using an older version, just like how you can choose the different Firefly. And some of the funniest things, like I accidentally, like, how when you're in Photoshop and you can now choose the different models. There was
Yeah.
one time where I accidentally had it on the Firefly one,
Uh-huh.
and it's like you went a trip back into like 3 years ago of like really shitty AI. And it's like, oh my God. And this is like the latest Firefly,
Yeah.
and it's still awful. Like, oh my God.
Yeah.
It's hilarious though. Like some of the stuff you prompt and it's just like completely wrong, but
Yeah.
it's so bad, it's
Yeah.
hilarious.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's just super funny.
It's
Like, oh, that was cute.
yeah. I don't know. AI is so interesting. It's such a big change for our industry too, And it's also super polarizing, You have people who are
Yeah.
like, I'm not using it. And it's like, okay, like that's fine, but oh boy,
Well, it's this thing where I forget who I was talking to, but oh no. It was I was just talking about how I was watching your I forget when it was a few weeks ago
Mm-hmm.
with Bart
Yeah.
and PJ and all the other guys on there, and Bart was kind of going through this thing where he's like, or some of his young employees are wondering whether they should learn
Yeah.
XYZ and Houdini, or like, should I even learn Blender,
Mm-hmm.
or like, or should I just learn AI? And it's like, I feel like it's this weird thing now where it's like, we already know, like, as people that have been in this industry for how long, we already know a lot of things, but also it's like you're constantly learning no matter what you're
Yeah.
doing. Like, you're using Cinema 4D for years and years. There's still a lot of things you can learn, or whatnot. And with AI, it's this thing where it's also like, yeah, I could learn how to do some things now, but then if I go back, like if I'm not using it constantly or constantly using it on job, like it's
Mm-hmm.
always going to be changing. So it's like, it's almost like just a fire hose.
It
And
is.
it's just how like you got to shut it off. Sometimes you're just going to like drown yourself because
Yeah.
there's just, it's so, I think that's the thing where it's so weird because you just don't know, like as like I used to say, there's a lot of anxiety over all these different apps that
Mm-hmm.
you can learn now. Like even just 3D, where it's
Yeah.
like you got Houdini, you got Blender, you got Cinema 4D, you got Maya, you got Rive, you got
Mm-hmm.
Calvary, you have all this stuff, and it's like, but that's nothing compared to like I feel like there's just like at any given time, there's like I'm on Twitter and there's three different AI
Yep.
companies saying they just launched their latest
Yep.
model and like, oh my God, it's the best model ever. And then the next day there's something else from another
Mm-hmm.
company. And it's just like, and they're all just like one upping each other. And
Trying
but
to.
all of them are
Yeah.
like, but all of them are like, but can you actually do anything
Yeah.
with it? Like it's
I'm
all,
telling you, man, it's NFTs all over again. You know,
yeah.
like at least there's gonna
Like I
be
got my drop
a.
today. Yeah.
Oh, which speaking of, real quick, if you have stuff on Nifty Gateway, they're shutting down April 1st. So make sure and
Oh,
get your NFTs off of Nifty Gateway and into like OpenSea wallet or whatever. You know, if you want to keep your NFTs. So yeah,
oh no.
I need to do that. I've got
But I
like
thought
a
they're forever
right. So a super rare is still
until the
around.
website shuts
Everyone
down.
else has shut down. Rareable may still be around, you know, but yeah.
Terrible.
But
Wow.
the like you were saying, you know, you've got all these companies popping up and stuff. It's the same thing as with the NFTs, you know. A lot of these are going to go away and a
Oh, all
lot of
these
them they're
companies
going
are
to get
just
eaten up by Google, you know? Like Google is going to absolutely destroy all of them, you know, because Nano Banana is fantastic, you know, and all of their video generation stuff is really good, you know. So I mean, plus they see all of our history. They've got all of YouTube. They've got all of
they
your
own the
pictures stored.
70% of the internet.
Yeah,
Yeah, like
like man, yeah. And then, you know, talking about new software and stuff like that, like what software should you learn? The interesting thing to me is, so lately I have found that if I want something, you know, like, oh, I could really use this plugin, or I could do this, or I could do that. You know what I'm doing? I'm not going to AE scripts anymore. I'm going to Claude, or as we like to call it, Cloud. We go to Claude
Cloud.
and I say, hey, I need this. I want this plugin.
Well, do the Claude
Do
code.
the Claude code.
Yep.
Like, help me make this plugin. And so, like,
Yep.
you know, you may spend a couple of days or something working on it, but it's like I built an entire like Orbix exporter for Houdini, you know, that will be able to chunk out all of your individual things into individual Orbixes. You know, you pipe in exactly what you want, and then I had it even combine it after the fact so that you can look at it and make sure that all of your Orbix files look the same across all of your stuff. And it's like, I spent a couple days on it, but you know what? Otoy had an API, a Lua API that I was able to plug into Claude, and it helped me, you know? And it's like, then it's like, okay, well, I need a renamer for all of these files. So I was like, I'm not going to go and find some sketchy thing on some random website, you know. I'm going to go into Claude and I'm going to say, hey, build me this app that does this. And it's like, done,
Mm-hmm.
you know. Like, I have really enjoyed vibe coding lately, just like different apps and stuff like that, or different plugins. And it's like, dude, I don't know how some of these, and you go to A scripts right now, half of them are AI based, you know?
Yeah.
So like,
Yeah.
it's like, oh, you can do this in After Effects using AI now. And it's like, okay, I tried downloading, and like, they'll show something off that looks really cool. Like there was one that I tried out yesterday. It's called Easy Comp. It matches the foreground and background and like your object and using AI. And I tried it and it was awful. It was so bad. And it was like an 8 gig download that I had to run like the thing in the background and stuff like that. And it's like, nah, it's not going to work. It's not going to work, you know?
That's what I'm saying. Like, it is exactly like the NFT thing where it's like people like at the beginning, people were making a crap ton of money.
Yep.
Like, and everyone wanted to ride that wave. And that the thing is now is that we're seeing a longer tail
Mm-hmm.
on this AI thing because it's still like we haven't peaked out yet. Like, you know,
Mm-mm.
there's still, as they say, they're still building. You
Yeah.
know, we're still here building.
Yeah, they're still
You know,
chilling and making money off
still
of it.
shilling in. Yeah, I mean, it's going on for years and years and years, or, you know, years now, and uh, you know, and it's people. You can just people are trying to extract value,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know if that's because they think this is going to last forever, like a lot of people
Yeah.
that did NFTs did.
Yeah.
But me going in NFTs, I'm like, this isn't going to last forever.
Yeah.
So you got to get while the getting's good and get out and, you know, and not have it be your, not hitch all your wagons onto this
Yeah.
kind of thing. But man, there's people that are like, if I have any view on it, that this isn't going to be a gold mine or it's just a gold rush and it's going to run out, is that people are just so into it right now.
Yeah.
And people are like just putting all their time and energy and like totally pivoting what they used to do in their career to this.
Yeah.
Just like a lot of people did with the NFT thing, where it's like, I'm quitting my job and I'm just doing this.
Yeah.
And man, you better hope that like number one, you can get the money, because the same thing's going to happen where once everything kind of peters out and like AI is really, you know, super good and everyone's doing this and there's a lot more noise out there.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing as NFTs where people made money because there were the closed off things and only a select few had access to this stuff or even knew how to like work the system, I guess you could say, and like, you know the right people and get their work in front of the right people. And, you know, that these AI companies are I don't know. I don't know how long they're going to have you know, all this money that's getting invested in and stuff. But I mean, a lot of these influencers are trying to get a chunk of that money from these companies to help market it, because I don't think there's money in doing client work like what we do. Like they're just,
it's like, it's either super low budgets or massively huge budgets. You know, those in between budgets are not around anymore, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, I'm just going to do 15 small things, you know, use AI in order to like, you know, in my workflow and get them done faster. But, you know,
it's like, there's this moment in time where people are making a lot of money off of like this stuff. And it's so funny because I feel like, I don't know if I'm sure you've seen it. You know, Nick Greenwald, like he's doing his selling ads on his toilet.
no,
He's projection mapping.
Oh, yeah.
Did you
I
see
have seen that.
He projection maps
Yeah.
stuff on his toilet.
Yeah.
His goal is like, I'm going to make $1 million
Uh-huh.
selling ad space on my toilet.
That's hilarious.
And and he's been doing it for I think a couple weeks now, and he's already made like almost 30 grand off of companies.
Jeez.
So he's got a long way to go to $1 million. But
Yeah.
like he made $30,000 just projecting shit onto his toilet.
Man.
Like not literally shit,
Yeah.
but logos and stuff like that. But I was like, that's creative, and that's something where it's like not everyone can do that.
Yeah.
And if you did like that's just shtick you can do once. And I feel like with this AI stuff, there's shticks that like people can do once
Mm-hmm.
and people are going to make their money and then it's on to the next thing. And
Yeah.
I feel like it's like the NFT thing. Everyone's trying to find like, how can I do this? How can I do my one thing that once I do it, everyone's going to rush to it. It's going to be tapped out. And then you got to find the next thing.
Yeah.
Like I think that's just it's funny because NFTs kicked that off, and now we're just like in this new cycle. But now it's AI, and it's
Yeah.
this constant.
I mean, first it
churn
was
of
Unreal Engine, real-time rendering.
yeah,
And then it was
yeah.
NFTs. Now it's
It's
AI.
like what's the grift today?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Grift du
I
jour.
do think AI is around forever now, because unlike NFTs in our industry, AI has so many more use cases across all industries,
Yeah.
So like other than just us making, movies and silly movies and, poop emojis dancing and stuff like that, I feel like it's around for a while, but I'm interested to see where everything lands eventually, So
Yeah, I mean, you already see how a lot of a lot of people are moving off of like the collective shared experience, which I feel like Super Bowl is like one of the very few
mhm.
things. They're like the Olympics or whatever. And people are finding their little niches and their cliques and their like super niche interest,
Yeah.
and people go on like YouTube, and like people aren't spending a ton of money on like late night TV anymore. People are doing podcasts and
Yeah.
people are watching people just sit around, and they're there's the most like I listen to sports radio, and they just started broadcasting on YouTube because like people just like will throw it up and they're
Mhm.
interested in like listening to the Buffalo Bills and sports
Yeah.
teams and stuff, and like but that's just the host just sitting there
Yeah.
just like we are.
Yeah.
I mean, that's it. But like you have your very niche audience of people that really enjoy MoGraph and like Oto and all that stuff. And like that's just like what's gonna be the new thing where everyone's gonna be fractured, and then
Mhm.
people are gonna make like maybe we're not even up here and you just program an AI version, whatever this
That's
podcast
what I'm
is,
waiting for.
and it
That's
looks
what I'm
like
waiting
us and it
for.
sounds like us. And it's like let's have the EJ AI chat with the
Yeah.
Matt AI and let's just see what happens.
Did you ever see that one where you could upload some information to like some site and it would create a podcast out of it? Like
Dave was saying something about
Dave did
that.
it one
Yeah.
time about Camp Mograph, or like he put an entire episode up there, and said turn it into a podcast, and it's like it was weird hearing some like random AI talk about the both of us and like Camp Mograph, which is what they called it. It's just so funny. It's so funny. But
I just
there's something interesting that Winbush said earlier. He says it's not cheap at all, and this is something I wanted to bring up too, because as I was playing around with Comfy UI today, there is going to be it will be a restrictive to like lower income people to be able to use this stuff. It's just another way in order to separate the classes of people and stuff, because you're gonna have Comfy UI, all the free models and stuff that are out there, they kind of look like garbage, versus like Google, which costs 13 cents a generation, that one is gonna be expensive, and it's like, okay, I ran out of Higgsfield credits. I don't want to spend any more money until next month. I just want my credits next month. And it's like, okay, I either have to spend more money or not use the tools. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
I have now hit another subscription, I now have my Houdini subscription, and now I've got my Claude UI, and I got to keep on updating, or my Google, whatever, and I got to keep on, throwing more money at the machine in hopes that it gives me what I want,
I gotta pay the gas fees to mint my NFT,
Right.
so just gotta do it. But guess what?
Right.
Not everyone can afford the super rare gas fee.
Yeah.
It's the same thing, man. Like, yeah, I mean, I think people are gonna miss the days of like, oh, I'm paying $30 a month for Creative Cloud or something like that, and
Yeah.
I get everything. And because, yeah, it's gonna be a AI arms race because you're gonna have your corporation like Buck and like all these top studios that like already have a foothold in like Google. I mean, it's tech companies and everything else.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's not like what were all the Super Bowl ads? Like it was Pepsi, Budweiser, and then
Yeah.
AI companies, tech companies, and so everyone's going to be competing with the same people, and people are going to try to build their own brands and their own audiences, and I don't know. I already see how like I don't know if it's there's more freelancers now than ever before, and people working from home more than ever before, and doing their own thing and run their own businesses and stuff. So it's just that it's like the 10,000 fans or 1,000 fans rule or whatever, where you just need to find like 1,000 people
Yeah.
that will support you no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
And as long as if you can ask $50 from them every year, that's 50
Yeah.
grand. And so like, can everyone do that? Like using AI or telling whatever stories or entertaining the whatever they can do. And like, I'm not, again, like I'm there's a barrier to entry for Blender, but
Yeah.
everyone has access to that, but not everyone's, winning Oscars with it or whatever,
Yeah.
or like even, has a big following online because of it. So I think there's, even though everything looks good, like it's still, I think there's just going to be, I even heard this from like watching talk shows and sports shows and just talking like just normal people that aren't in our industry, like
Mm-hmm.
they thought all the AI shit was weird
Yeah.
for the Super Bowl ads. Like
Yeah.
they're just like, I'm so burnt out on all this AI slop stuff. And that's like the general public.
Mm-hmm.
So because a lot of people like to say it's like, well, people don't like people will tech because I said something about the Olympic stuff, and
Uh-huh.
every time I have anything to say about AI, like sometimes Mike will just be like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
Like and like people get, and so he was like, "Oh, people don't fucking care." I was like, "Dude, it's not like people that are artists with good eyes. Like, no, just normal people are being trained enough because they see it
Yeah.
everywhere.
Yeah.
Like they know what that stuff looks like."
Yeah. But I think it's similar to when YouTube finally popped into the world. Compression was nasty. You used to have to deal with
Oh,
like super awful compressed stuff, and people just got used to it.
yeah.
I think people are just gonna deal with the
YouTube's
AI
free.
slop.
Anyone can fire up their YouTube channel, but yeah, there's only
Yeah, and then
like
there's
even
ads
like your
all
Mr.
over
Beast,
it.
but either yeah, with ads all over it.
Hmm.
But there's only like how many people in the world are making over $1 million off of YouTube?
Yeah, I
Like
don't know.
probably a very small, and I feel like that's just going to be the same thing with this AI stuff. That's not uh like a studio, like traditional MoGraph
Yeah.
studio or CG studio or something like that. But yeah, I think it's gonna be like Hollywood's gonna be around.
Hmm.
There, I think you've already seen it without AI. It's just people don't shell out money for movie stuff anymore. Like you got Netflix that's got their own AI and they're
Yeah.
cranking out all these films left and right, and um, I don't know, man,
I lost my
crazy
chat.
times.
Like people are talking. Apparently my chat's all messed up. Yeah.
Oh.
I don't know.
Well, Winbush said he was going back to watch Kid Rock. We got Sparky Face. Good to see you. Yeah,
Yeah.
this is if everyone, if it was easy, everyone would be doing it. And I think that's it too. And I mentioned this on the end of year podcast. It's like, okay, sure, it's the moment that people like everyone can do this crazy shit and there's no barrier. Like it's not going to get the likes anymore. So
Yeah.
it's just like the NFTs, like
I
it weeded out a lot of people that
yeah.
like, wait, I'm minting all this shit and no one's buying my NFT.
Yeah.
Like I'm out.
Yeah.
Like if there's no return, like
Yeah.
people are going to weed out and go to the next thing or go back to crypto or wherever the hell
Yeah.
is the next thing that they think they can cash in on.
Something you were talking about earlier with the, I want to be, where Aaron was doing like clay renders and stuff like that. That's how I want it. That's what I want my
Yeah.
workflow to be. I want to be able to go through and create my stuff, or pull like a 3D mesh from it, go through, create my camera moves, export those to wireframe, and then do like a style transfer and be like, okay, done, like, let that chew away. That's worth my 13 cents,
Right.
But, just hitting the slot machine sucks,
Yeah, I mean, well, I just, Aaron posted something in our Slack and he showed this it was probably from like the Unreal Asset Library. It was like this just knight.
Oh, yeah.
This knight
The
with
knight.
all the armor stuff.
Yeah, stabbed in the back and stuff like that.
Yeah, and I was like, that's actually a really cool reveal. Like that's a cool story. And that's the thing where I'm saying it's like,
I thought it was good.
This yesterday.
I don't know why he added film grain to it though. That was weird to me.
Yeah, because why not? It's like Star Glow.
Yeah, I know.
Lens flare, whatever.
But no, yes, yeah, you are right.
But that's the thing where, like I said yesterday, because I was thinking about this, and I'm like, I feel like that. Yes, it's impressive that AI generated all this stuff, but also I thought Aaron's idea was really good.
Yeah.
And so maybe it was 50-50, like that's pretty cool concept. That's cool that you used Unreal and you controlled everything. But also it was really impressive what the AI did. And I feel like with a lot of shit that's out there, I'm not impressed of the person operating the AI at all. I'm just impressed solely by what AI is capable of doing, because I know that so much of the control was it was just like, a cat could have gone on a keyboard and probably spit out something that's impressive.
Yeah.
But only because the AI, like I would only be impressed by the AI, not that the cat hit the right keys on the keyboard or something. So I think it's this, there was this spot, I don't know if you saw, I forget the name of the studio because my brain is fried, but they did this really cool product ad. And, the big thing, and that's why Nano Banana is so huge, is that if you have a digital twin of a product where, again, we're talking about oh my God, like we have Nano Banana and it's still fucked up the Olympics logo.
Yeah.
Like, come on. Like, this is easy shit, man. Anyways, like you need the consistency, right? Like, just like the consistency of whether it's a character or it's like, especially if it's a product for like, you got a Nike shoe or whatever, like it's gotta look like whatever you're selling.
Yes, 100%.
Like also, I think because legally you can get sued if you're commercial that airs on national TV, whatever. And they did this really cool product ad and they said it was almost entirely in AI. And I'm like, that's incredible. Cause I was like, number one, like, yes, it's crazy the AI did that, but also like, I know that like there's probably a lot of thought and taste and very purposeful shots and stuff that they did, and it wasn't just I have an ad for this thing, just boop beep boop boop, and just whatever it spits out. So I think it's a thing where it's like what's good AI. It's the one where maybe there's more of a mix of impressed with AI, but also impressed by whoever was behind that. It's just like, Houdini, like that's impressive. Houdini can do that crazy destruction sim or whatever, but also respect to the person behind that like had that idea and executed it and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. And it may be that, because if you think about it, like we're in this industry, we watch movies, we watch TV, we like watching commercials specifically because we like to see how it's done. We like to see the cool stuff and things, and so much of everyone's lives nowadays have become in front of a screen, video, moving, stuff like that, So it's like, it's so much more prominent. All the crap is so much more prominent and stuff like that, that maybe not a lot of people, like maybe the same amount of people in our industry are doing it. You know, they're just switching over to AI and stuff like that. You know, yeah, I don't know. Mac.
Yeah, it's I don't know, like again, you had the Super Bowl commercials, you have people
Yeah,
working
and you know that's
on
why,
these AI things.
that's why it's so obvious
And
everyone's talking about it. It's like now you've got
yeah.
normies, not us, watching, you know, ads and stuff like that and being like, oh, there's so much AI slop out there. And it's like, okay, well, now it's just all of us motion designers just trying all this AI stuff out, you know?
Yeah, and it might be AI tracking or
Yeah.
background removal or whatever it is. Like, so I think, yeah, they've been using it for quite a while. Like I know like the big studios like Buck, they're real deep into the
Yeah.
AI thing. Like
I mean,
ABC,
we are
like you guys
too.
are.
You know,
Yeah.
we're using
Like
it
you
for
have
crazy
to
amounts
like
of concepting and stuff like that. And I will tell you, it's fantastic when you can show a client this is what we are aiming for. You know, like this is what we're going to
yes,
do.
absolutely.
Or
Get to
even,
the right
or even, sorry, or even
no.
we've had this happen where a client will do their boards in AI and be like, we don't know how to do this. Make this. You know, and it's like, okay, cool. It's fantastic that you have now given us exactly kind of like the inspiration. You're not just going to Pinterest and finding all these things. You're like prompting what you want.
Well, that's the thing. It's like the famous like I know what I like when I see it, and it's like,
Yeah.
okay, you got to keep going
Yeah.
through this. And so yeah, you like, can I get to that answer faster? And then
James
and
does
the
not
thing that I
like
if you
concepting for it. No.
oh
Uh-oh.
that is not
James.
fantastic.
Okay, go. I'm gonna hit you up. You should come on the show, and we will chat about it. Not you, Google.
Yes, please.
Thank you. Yeah.
So even Google's listening to you. Like,
I know.
what did they say about me?
Yeah. What they say about me?
But I thought it was very fascinating hearing because like Bart mentioned about how one of the clients at ABC basically brought all like they kept lowering their price.
Yeah.
I forget what the story was, and I was like, that's an interesting story. And you know, Bart's smart. Like it's one of the reasons why like Bart freaking kills it because he knows how to push back on bullshit client stuff that, you know, he was just like, yeah, you can go and do all the things that your competitors are doing and do it cheaper and it'll look whatever, it'll look all the same, or you know, we can do something cool that'll help you stand out.
Yeah.
And it's like if you don't want to do that, like we're not. And I'm paraphrasing. I don't remember.
Yeah,
if that's
he was
exactly
talking
what
about. I think he was talking about how you've got other companies who are wanting to try and be like their competitive company, you know, but their competitor company is doing like really crappy stuff, and it's like, no, we're way better than that. I'm paraphrasing. I can't remember.
Yeah,
I just
but,
hit
I
up
mean,
James and I
it
said,
was-
"Here, sign up." So there you go. The invite's out there. Let's talk why it's not good concepting. I would like to know. I would like to.
Yeah, I'd love to hear.
Yeah.
James on the hot seat.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, that's the thing too. Is like I remember we had PJ do a workshop, and he was talking about how like they do ads for XYZ company. XYZ company also makes AI products.
Yeah.
And XYZ company said, yeah, you can't use our AI on our ad because we don't want to get sued. And so it's just this very interesting thing where, like, I don't know, Pepsi, like, or Coke did their thing, and are they going to get sued by any, like, but apparently, like, the tech companies, I don't know.
Yeah.
That whole part of it is interesting
Google.
as far as what
They're just funny.
do
in
you
the
own
chat.
the Google? Do you own? We are all the Google.
We are all the Google. You know, and I don't know.
All your Googles belong to
all
us.
your Googles belong to us. Let's change the subject. Because I feel like I talk about AI all the time on the show, and let's not. we got like
I hope
10
the
minutes
Lords aren't gonna
left.
like to hear you say that.
We got like 10 minutes left, so like
All
I
right.
want to talk about more art stuff, you know? Like honestly,
Let's talk about your video game.
well, yeah,
retro
like the video
game
games,
thing
and
you're
like
doing.
you just did a tutorial on like doing pixel art in Procreate, which I thought
Procreate.
was really cool. Um, uh, let's talk about that. Let's talk about actual art instead of AI. You know, like let's talk about the real
AI
things.
art is art, bro.
AI art, yeah. I'm a prompt engineer.
Each
Edrock.
Well, let me think about this.
That's funny. But no,
You've hit
it
your
does
limit for
also
today.
feel good to get back to actual art versus just pulling a slot machine and stuff. Yeah, we're gonna talk
Yeah,
gaming. Let's talk gaming.
Yeah, I mean that. I feel like they're like, I don't know if it's just our uh, demographic,
Mm-hmm.
but like I just see this like swing back to. Actually, I saw a music video of that kicked off the whole
Was it from Kid Rock?
furry dancing guy. Like that was the first simulation, and it's just like a mix mode
Yeah,
dance.
yeah.
And
Oh yeah.
it was a music video from 9 years ago.
Uh-huh.
And people as recently as like 2 weeks ago are commenting on this music video, saying like, "Oh, this was so good, like all time. Like I wish we could go back to
Yeah.
2000 or like 2016 when things were simpler and things looked cool and things looked weird for the sake of being weird,
Yeah.
not weird because
Yeah.
AI fucked shit up and it wasn't intentional."
Yeah.
But yeah, like there's just this like nostalgia. Everyone wants to go back to simpler times because holy shit, things are so weird right now. Um, but like that, one of the things that I've talked about at like I recently I've had the opportunity to like speak at Motion Plus Design and at XR conference, the
Mm-hmm.
first one that happened in New York, and then in Tokyo, and then I'm going to be speaking at um, Making Midwest in Ohio in over the
That's fun.
summer, and they're just like these like I'm doing normal talks versus like tutorial stuff.
Yeah.
And one of the things that like I struggled for a while until I kind of found out like, oh, what, like why are why is Winbush like doing his video game stuff, or why,
Yeah.
like I noticed a lot of people like you, like you're building your own video game, and that was years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, what? Why? Like I was missing that part. I mean, I got my 3D printer and I
Yeah.
was doing that stuff, but I was doing it subconsciously of like and not really paying attention to like why am I doing this stuff? And I feel like that was before like AI got really, really crazy. But the thing that like I had to consciously be aware of is like why I would get so like in a bad mood or frustrated or like depressed or like whatever it was or anxious. It was just like I would do my work and I'd pay attention to like all the social media stuff, and like I totally lost the thread of like why did I like, because we used to share cool behind the scenes shit in Cinema 4D all the
Yeah.
time, and that used to tickle that
Yeah.
or tickle that itch. It
You
used to
just
scratch
tickle
that. Don't tickle my itch. We used to scratch that itch, and like I feel like that part of our industry is just kind of gone.
Yeah.
Like it's no longer like the mystery of like how someone did that. Now it's just like, oh well, everything's fucking easy now.
Yeah.
Like it's not like you just prompt it or whatever, and it's like so that like like if you were a person like me that maybe geeked out on the technical aspects of things or whatever it was, like that just kind of got blown away, or like whatever the like even the community aspects of
Yeah.
like, man, there's not as many events anymore. Like
Mhm.
the events that we go to now, like they're just not the same
Yeah.
as before, and the same people aren't going to them anymore. Um, and it's just this thing where it's like I think a lot of people are probably trying to find what that thing is to replace that kind of like whole of like that community and the geeking out about behind the scenes, or like how did you do that, or
Mhm.
like the simpler times. And I feel like I've like for me that is like I think like I went to Japan 2 years ago and then last year, and I feel like 2 years ago I just kind of like went and was just like so geeked out about everything, and then came back and I bought a bunch of toys and stuff and got into 3D printing more, and I didn't think much about it. And then we went back this last time and it was more on like a professional level
Mm-hmm.
where like okay we're here and like why are we here, why did we want to do this event here,
Yeah.
and it started making you like like be more like present and retrospective about like why do I like Japan so much,
Yeah.
like why was it such a big deal for us to do an event here, and like why do I love coming here so much, and
Yeah.
it's like, and I never thought about it deep enough to be like, oh well, like I'm fucking here right now because Nintendo
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
Japanese culture that influenced a lot of stuff that was in Nintendo games, and like and I was just like it was just this like aha moment of like this is why I do this, and like I used to play video games all the time
Yeah.
and draw stuff from video games, and so that's why I was like when I was in Japan I was like I have all this list of like all these videos I want to do, and I started reading books about Japanese culture and like vinyl toy
Mm-hmm.
culture and like all this stuff, and like I just feel like this is I feel like I'm in a warm like I feel like I'm in a nice
Yeah.
cozy space, like blanket, like my safe space, and like
You're
and
getting
that's why I
tickled in all
started
the right
doing
ways.
yeah, scratching all those tickles. Uh, but that's where I was like, okay, I wanted. That's why I started doing like the design lessons from pixel art and stuff
Yeah.
like that, because I was just like, that was such a simple time. Like things were so limited, technology was so limited. It's like complete opposite of
Yeah.
what it is now, and like uh, I'll tell you like that era of video games, I think like, Nintendo,
Yeah.
Super Nintendo, Sega, PlayStation 1, those games, I don't know if there's a lot of video games that have come out in the past 5 years that can even like touch
Yeah.
like the iconic levels of some of that stuff. But
Mario
I
Wonder.
find that
Mario
stuff,
Wonder was pretty awesome. Mario Wonder was a
yeah, like
fantastic game.
that's true.
Yeah.
But like that's why I love Nintendo is
Yeah.
because it's completely different. It's unique characters, unique ideas, and again, a lot of that's like from Japan. And so the more I like research
Mm-hmm.
all this stuff and listen to podcasts, and it's like why we like Nintendo's or Japan's been like exporting their culture for decades now,
Yeah.
and like now it's one of the hottest places in the world for people to visit, and it's because like of like all this cool pop culture stuff that allowed us to like kind of disconnect and be in this fantasy land of like when we're kids playing video games or playing Pokemon and
Mm-hmm.
all this stuff. And so yeah, just learning all about like the limitations at the time and like the thought process of like why Mario looked the way he did, and it
Yeah.
was all because of like limitations and like just like so many design lessons and animation lessons, and even about like story, and even just like
Dude.
even more abstract about like fucking go outside. And like the reason why like Link became a thing is because Miyamoto would like go in like the woods and like
Mm-hmm.
explore caves and like make little maps because of it, and it's like, oh shit, that's Zelda.
Yeah.
Like, so and I think it's just like, oh, that I feel like so much of that like is like reminding me of like you need to go outside more,
Yeah.
like you need to disconnect more, and you
It's
need to like
it,
just do what you enjoy more
yeah, it's
in the face of
interesting
all
because
this.
like if you look at you, me, Winbush, Dave, it's like our hobby used to be motion design as well as our job. That used
Yeah.
to be the thing that we would do when we were doing it for fun. But the community has kind of like dispersed a little bit. It's so much harder, especially after NFTs, after COVID and all the stuff. It's been hard to get that same feeling back. It's
Yeah.
like a lot of us are burnt out on, our industry. So we're looking to other places in order to fill that
Yes.
creative niche. you know? And
Yeah.
for me, it's the video game stuff. Like, I absolutely love, love, love. And dude, you have got it. Like, Nest Maker. So Nest Maker here.
We need to,
hold
maybe
on.
we need
Let
to
me do
have
my
a
screen sharing.
podcast where
So screen sharing. Here we go. Oh, come on. Why didn't it open?
Oh.
All right. Screen capture. Come on. Turn on. Turn on. All right. 2 up. Screen share. Ah, man. Anyway. All right. So if you're in
Well,
the
that was fun.
Milwaukee, Wisconsin area, April
Milwaukee.
24th through 28th or whatever, Midwest Gaming Classic. Like, that's the big, you know, retro game fest. And Nest Maker is Nest Maker's, like, that's where their big, like, booth is and stuff like that. And they do a thing called Bite Off every year. It's actually going to start this weekend, and I'm really excited. And you've got basically a month and a half to create a video game. And it's just a concept video game, you know, and then they give out prizes and stuff like that based off of who the best, you know, game is and stuff like that. And it's very, very exciting. And it gives me that same thrill that, you know, early motion design used to give me and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's it, man. It's like, yeah, if you're filling that void with other things. And it's so funny because, like, everyone I talk to, and I don't know if it's like everyone's kind of going into their safe space
Yeah.
or like a lot of people got into this industry because of video games and
Yeah.
stuff like that. Like, I know so many people that, like, whether, like, I noticed them talking about video games or making video game inspired art or whatever, but yeah, I've only put out like 2 videos of like the pixel art thing, and I've had so many people reach out that were like, dude, that's so cool, man, that like reminds me of like how much I like this game, and
Yeah.
like, man, I really want to like make a Kirby or make
Yeah.
a Mario whatever. And it's like, that's awesome. I was like, that's exactly why like I fell into this too.
Yeah.
Um and I'll keep doing it as long as I come up with ideas. But even that, like, speaking about AI, like, that's actually a helpful part about like go and research, like, because I'll read something in a book about like, okay, with the sprite design of Mario and the mustache and stuff, and I was like, I want to check this though, and like, what are some of the other stories behind her? Like, what were the limitations of the Nintendo back then?
Mm-hmm.
And even yesterday, I'm reading this new book, and I'm sure you knew this, but like I didn't really understand it much. Where it's like, why did like the first Nintendo games kind of look like shit, but then like new like so Super Mario 1 versus Super Mario 3. Super Mario 3 looks so much better, but it's all on
Yeah.
the NES.
Yeah.
But they added the processing to the actual cartridge, so they're
Mhm.
adding this new technology to the cartridge, and I'm like, whoa, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Like, we don't think about, like, they didn't add new technology to a DVD on the PlayStation.
Right.
Like, you're just kind of, you had the PlayStation technology and that was it.
Yeah.
And then when you're playing Final Fantasy VII, you had to switch out the disc after one part of the story was done because
Yeah.
they could only fit that much on. So, like, that is one thing. I was actually up late last night on my phone, like, I was like, oh man, like they added like or like for Super Nintendo, they added on the was it Star Fox?
Uh-huh.
Star Fox had like a 3D chip
Yeah.
on it
Yeah.
that could render the pixels. Like, oh my god,
Yeah.
like just so much fun.
Yeah. It's super.
Um,
Yeah. Dude, that you will go down a deep, deep rabbit hole once you start like learning about NES development and stuff like that. It's pretty insane. It's pretty insane. You know?
Yeah.
Especially like looking at the limitations between colors and stuff like that. Also, speaking of Midwest Gaming Classic and stuff like that, it was just announced that they're going to be doing like beta testing early of this new one called Retro Game Forge, which will let you make Super Nintendo games. Yeah.
So we should have like a like where you do your live streams. Do you still do the Thursday?
I
hangout
do.
thing?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I would just like I'd sit down like let's make a game like you know.
So that is
be
on the
fun.
15th they announce like what all the criteria is for the game. And so starting next week on our live streams, that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be doing that for the next month and a half, is going through and creating a game. It's going to be fun.
Nice.
What is
Awesome.
your favorite Pokemon?
Just by yourself?
EJ?
It's funny because I was talking with Mello and he shared some like cool designs of like some of the newer Pokemon. I'm like,
Uh-huh.
I'm so old school
Yeah.
Pokemon, like
Yeah.
yellow, red, like red, blue,
Uh-huh.
like so like I really like Pikachu. I like Jigglypuff,
Huh.
like all the old
Yeah.
school, like Squirtle. Like
Basic
I think
bitch
I got the blue
answers. I
one.
got it. Yeah.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, like I don't
I mean,
even
mine is
like I
either Jigglypuff or Togepi. I love Togepi. Togepi's super
Togepi.
cute in the egg.
I like the is it Abra? Like I liked
Yeah.
Abra. I didn't like Abracadabra though because he looked kind of weird with
Yeah.
the mustache and stuff. Oh, and Chansey,
Uh-huh.
it's a good one.
Yeah.
Uh
Mellow, I have no
Magikarp.
idea if it
Again, but
does
the old
mode
school
7. I
ones.
really hope it does mode 7. Mode 7, yeah. Do you know what mode 7 is? So, do
No.
you remember
Is it
Pilot
like six,
Wings
seven?
or no, or F-Zero? How
Oh, the that
yeah,
perspective
basically,
yeah, yeah.
yeah. So, it would do it in a way that would make it look, like 3D or whatever, or Mario
Yeah.
Kart. That's the way it was done in
Whenever
Mario
you would
Kart. Yeah.
yeah. Whenever in like one of my favorite games is Final Fantasy VI, and when you go in the airship,
Mhm.
that's like where you can like when you're on the world map, that's that
Yeah.
mode 7. Yeah.
Yeah. It's
I didn't
really
know it was
cool.
called mode 7,
Yeah.
but that's pretty cool.
The big yeah, anyway, or Star Fox. Yeah, Star Fox was like it too.
Star Fox.
Star Fox was great. Yeah.
But even that like Donkey Kong, like that's another thing. Like Donkey Kong Country is like
Mm,
just with Rare and how they would
amazing.
render out
Yes.
and like the software that they needed and like
Mhm.
all this crazy stuff. And they would translate by hand the
Yeah.
3D renders but to like pixel form. And man, there's so many ideas I have for
Yeah.
these little design lesson things because there are so many cool lessons to
Yeah.
learn from like they like I don't know. Like I just feel like this AI stuff it just disconnects you so much
It
from
does.
that shit
It
that
does.
like that's what I miss. I feel like,
Yeah. Yeah, it's a big difference between using Meshy to create like a 3D mesh from a picture versus like
Yeah.
getting down and dirty with ZBrush, you know?
But it's yeah, and it's funny because it's like like I could see someone who is a sculptor or they throw clay or whatever and
Mhm.
make their is that what the what's that process called? Just like
Yeah,
pottery,
yeah.
pottery and stuff like that. Like doing it by hand and like we're doing it digitally and we're not touching it and then we 3D print it and we're not touching that
Yeah.
either. And it's kind of like I'm sure like someone could also be like, well, that feels very disconnected too,
Yeah.
even though it's kind of the same thing in a way, um, but it's
Winbush,
a
it's
thing
called
where it's like
Retro Game Forge. Yeah. It's
it's
not
not
out
out yet.
yet. It's he's about to release it. He talked about doing a wide release at the end of May. So like
Is it the same person behind the
same
Nest
guy
Maker? Or...
behind Nestmaker.
Oh,
Yeah,
sweet.
which is really cool.
That's
I mean,
awesome.
the NES stuff and Super Nintendo were both built in 6502 assembly code. So it's like that's why have you seen a bunch of people who are like porting NES games over to Super Nintendo, you know? It's like that's
Hmm.
how Mario 1, 2 and 3 were ported over to, the
Oh,
Mario
the
uh
All
all Stars,
Stars.
yeah. It's like they just use the
Yeah.
exact same code. They just change the sprites in order to
Oh,
deal with like the better colors and the better backgrounds and stuff like that. Yeah,
very cool.
it's very cool.
Yeah, I didn't realize that the NES this it was the same tech as the Donkey Kong arcade, just scaled down
Oh
form
yeah,
factor. It's the same, yeah, because that was the biggest,
yeah,
hottest game in the world. And so they're like, let's just make a home system that can play Donkey Kong perfectly. So it's like, let's just use the same technology. And so
yeah,
that's the technology that like they stuck with up till, whenever. They finally sunsetted the NES in like 2003 in Japan.
really,
Like way
yeah.
later, like not like 7 years later than they did in America, which is crazy.
That
Like
is
that's
crazy,
how long they like were making games for it.
man. All
But I
right.
love Star Fox.
I do
Star
too.
Fox 64. Bit.
Yeah. Um. All right. Cool. Awesome. Yeah. We should get out of here.
Yeah.
Is
I want to watch you do the video game. You said
Yeah.
you're doing that soon?
Every Thursdays we'll do it. Maybe I'll start something this week. You know, just to kind of prime myself and get some of my stuff ready. You know, before we go full ham and stuff like that. I've got like 2 books that I'm reading, and one of them is like there's 28 books in this series, and I'm on book like 25. And it's like thick.
Wait,
I've been reading it for a month and a
is it?
half. It's called Rhythm of War. It's a Brandon Sanderson. Brandon Sanderson, you know, he did the Cosmere and Mistborn and stuff like that. And I've been reading through the entire Cosmere for the past year and a half. And so as soon as I get that, as soon as I get it done, I'm gonna feel like I have so much time to do whatever I want. So I'm very excited to get back into like gaming and the other stuff. But yeah.
Yeah. See, I'm reading all these books on gaming and retro games. And I'm like,
Yeah.
ah, shit, I need to.
Yeah. You should watch.
Yeah.
I'll send you a couple of really good YouTube things where they talk about like sprite cycling and stuff like that for the NES and like
Okay.
the tech
Were you
behind.
using sprites for things? Or?
Well, so the tech behind or the way that they handled sprites in Mike Tyson's Punch Out is so cool. It's so absolutely cool, you know, because it will change the character or the character sheet, the sprite sheet that it's using halfway through, and then it'll do it again, and it'll do it 60 times a second, you know, and it's
wow.
like absolutely insane the way that it works. So, yeah,
Interesting.
yeah, it is. Did you see?
I learned that
There's a game that was released called Super something, but like it was for NES. It was an NES cartridge, and you put it in your NES, and it had a modem in it, like a Wi-Fi. It had a Wi-Fi chip in it, and you could play online with people on the NES.
wow, that's crazy.
It's insane, so insane.
Well, I know, like, you know, Zelda with the save chip and stuff like that, 'cause
Uh-huh.
you can save games up until then. Like, oh, it's fascinating.
Yeah.
So much fun.
Yeah. Anyway, all right.
Love it.
Cool. Thanks to everyone for hanging out. Make sure to follow us on all the socials, especially YouTube and Twitch, if you want to join our, you know, weekly live streams. Those are Thursday night. It's our weekly MoGraph Hangouts, a weekly free-for-all where we explore all things MoGraph, video games, Houdini, Blender, and more. Thursday nights at around 7 p.m. It's roughly around 7 p.m. Sometimes I start early, sometimes I start later. You know, it depends on how tired I am of the day. But we always have a good time. I will say the Thursday night live streams are always really fun because the chat is super active. You know, I really, really like how active the chat is. So, yeah. I don't have any guests lined up as of now. I've been talking to a few people, so we'll see if there's a show next week. Maybe, maybe not. If I don't have a guest, then I'm gonna be hitting up Winbush, and we're gonna be doing EJ Winbush back to back. You know?
I was gonna say,
Yeah.
like, I'm just back, and we're
Oh,
just
come
gonna
on.
continue our conversation on video games.
We'll just talk video games the whole time. So yeah.
Well, let's skip the AI shit. Let's just go straight into,
Yeah.
like, just
I'm
play,
telling
let's
you,
just fire
me,
up.
you, and Winbush need to start our own video game podcast. You know?
Yeah.
Like
Just pick a subject.
retro video game podcast, you know.
I mean, that's my podcast queue right now. Is
Okay.
just all
right, I got
that.
it. All right, Winbush, you listening? Because here, I got our show. All right, we will play, like, the 3 of us. We will play a game each week. Like, we'll just podcast for an hour and we'll just play the game as we're podcasting and stuff like that, and talk about how either cool the game is or how crappy the game is, and see if some of these games actually still hold up nowadays.
It's hard to do it the same, like, because then I mean, I guess if it's NES, there's not a lot of story.
Yeah, I mean,
there,
if
so
it's
you can,
NES, you just do like emulation. You guys can do emulation. I could pipe it through
Sure.
my system and play originally, you know? Yeah. See? Winbush is down. We're ready.
Mello wants to teach me more than Gen 1 Pokemon. But that's the original anime show was
Yeah.
all Gen 1, man. Like
Yeah.
Ash and
Yep.
Whatever
Whatever.
the other people's names were. That was like morning cartoons. I would watch Pokemon, Power Rangers.
Power Rangers. Yeah. You got an OG
yeah.
NES? There you go. Let's do it. See? There we go. We will play a game. We'll play a game. You know, we'll just have our little heads down in the corner, and we'll have each person's screen. Oh, and we'll see who can get the furthest or who can get the most points. You know? Like, that'd be fun. You know?
You got to air it on Twitch, too, so
Oh,
you
of
can
course.
get some Twitch money.
Yeah. And we'll each play a different game, you know? Or no, we'll each play the same game, and we'll see who can do it. Yeah, I love that idea. So, all right.
I like it.
We just need a name. All right. That's all right. I'll think about that. You got to go. Also, if you haven't done it already, make sure to sign up for your very own MoGraph.com account. It's a one-stop shop for everything a motion designer needs. Showcase your demo reel, project you worked on, sell goods, blah, blah, blah. We got a ton of people who have signed up. So, yeah, you should get one too. You can go to MoGraph.com. We don't do advertisements. We don't do AI training your stuff. It's just old classic MoGraph. Post your artwork, get likes, comment, and build community. So, yeah. Cool. Thanks, everyone, for hanging out. We'll see y'all on Thursday. Until then, I'm Matt.
I'm EJ.
Yeah. Later, yo.
See ya. And tickle these pixels.
Pretty good, I guess.